selanjutnya aku lagi nunggu istri aku sama anak aku masih di toilet. Kami habis ini mau ke boat cruiser itu yang kemarin yang ada di Waterloo itu. Jadi ini kita mau jalan ke ini ya, ke apa namanya, boat cruiser itu. Dia di dekat-dekat sama London Eye tadi, yang kita kunjungin tadi, dekat-dekat sama Dungeon juga. Di negara orang itu apa namanya, orang punya disabilitas itu diistimewakan. Sedangkan kalau kita di Indonesia kadang ya dikucilkan, dibully. Sebetulnya nggak boleh kayak gitu.
Now, this has its origins in the Festival of Britain of 1951. Now, it was supposed to serve as a tonic to the nation after the Second World War to try and cheer up all of the Londoners. So they constructed the Royal Festival Hall there, which eventually expanded over into the Queen Elizabeth Hall, the Purcell Room and the Hayward Gallery. And underneath all of this, guys, they've actually got Britain's first skate park. So believe it or not, skateboarding actually originated here in London and not over in America like many do think. It's now home to the London Philharmonic Orchestra, and they also host many events throughout the years, including touring British theatrical productions, and they also hosted the BAFTA Awards a few weekends ago here in London, guys. Now, there's not too many people up on this bridge, but you can give it a go, guys. Give them a wave. Hello! Now, this bridge here is Waterloo Bridge. It is nicknamed as the Ladies' Bridge here in London because the task force that built this bridge was almost entirely made up of women. Now, believe it or not, guys, this is the only bridge in London that was completed on time and under budget. So I'll let you draw your own conclusions as to why that one might be. Exactly. Who needs men, eh? Well, now we have nicknamed this bridge as the Ladies' Bridge in honour of those wonderful women who helped construct it throughout the Second World War. It was actually the only bridge that was continuously bombed in its time as well, guys. So, well done to those ladies that helped build it. Now, over to the right, you will see a rather ugly looking building with an electronic screen at the top there, guys. Now, this is the Royal National Theatre, and don't worry, I am allowed to say that it's ugly. It was designed in the architectural style of brutalism. But don't be fooled by its harsh exterior, because on the inside it has 3 very beautiful theatres, which has a host of different British theatrical productions. Now, a lot of the time, the shows, if they are successful at the National, will then transfer into London's West End, or even over to Broadway in New York. But there's a trick here, guys, because the shows over at the National are actually way cheaper than any of the West End shows. So if you did want to see a West End show but you didn't want to pay those West End prices, well, I'd highly recommend checking out what's on at the National, guys. It's well worth it, and they've got some excellent productions that go on over there. Now, for the most shocking and surprising part of the tour, on the right hand side, guys, you will be able to see London's very own beach. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you, it's not an illusion, this is a real life beach. Now, it is named Ernie's Beach after a man called Ernie who used to work on the Coin Street community. Now, his job was to ensure that Londoners got affordable housing here on the River Thames, and thanks to his hard work, then they gifted him with this lovely little beach here. And of course, on a nice day such as today, you can see lots of people over there sunbathing, building sandcastles and whatnot. It's a very nice day out. But if you are going to head over to Ernie's Beach, guys, I would always recommend checking the tide, as the River Thames is tidal and it does rise and fall very quickly. Now, this red brick building there on the right hand side, guys, you can see the tower at the top there, and it says the word OXO. So this is actually called the OXO Tower, and it was once owned by the company OXO. They are quite famous here in Britain for making gravy stock cubes. However, guys, when they built this building in the 1930s, they were taken to court immediately because it's actually illegal to advertise here on the River Thames. So having your company name displayed at the top like that is breaking quite a few laws. But they actually got round this, guys, because they had a very clever lawyer indeed. And he said, Your Honour, I promise that is not the company name of OXO at the top there. We actually just purchased random geometrically shaped windows that happen to spell out the company's name of OXO. And you'll never believe it, guys, they got away with it. The judge believed it. But I've heard that the judge hasn't worked since that case because he became a bit of a laughing stock. But don't worry, you don't need to laugh at my terrible jokes. They only get worse the further down the river we get, guys. Now up ahead we've got 3.5 bridges here. We've got the Blackfriars bridges. This is the road bridge here and the rail bridge on the other side. Now you may think, what do I mean by 2.5 bridges? Well, I'll show you in just a second what I mean by that, guys. Now, notice on either side of the boat here, guys, you will see these mysterious red columns that are floating with us here in the River Thames. Now, what are these columns? What is their purpose? What are they doing here? Well, I will let you think all about that, and I'll tell you all on the return journey, guys. But for now, up to the left-hand side, you will see an excellent view of St Paul's Cathedral. Now, this is actually the 5th version to exist of St Paul's here in London. The previous version burned down during the Great Fire of London in 1666. Now, this version that you see here today was designed by Sir Christopher Wren, one of the nation's most famous architects. Now, you may notice that there are no tall buildings surrounding the cathedral. This is due to an old law that we have here in London that states that St Paul's Cathedral must be observable from 8 key points around the city. Now, some of these points are very, very far away, guys, and that does explain why some of the skyscrapers up ahead have got some very funky shapes. This is so that St Paul's can be seen directly through the design of the skyscrapers. Now you can also see directly through the City of London School. There is a glass atrium in the centre there. Now this is exactly to observe that very same law, guys, so that we can see it directly from the river here. Now guys, we're approaching Millennium Bridge. Let's see if we can get any waves. Hello on the bridge! Well done, guys. Looks like we've got quite a few up there, but we've also got many other bridges to pass under today. So I'm sure we'll get many more waves along the way, guys. Now, on to the right-hand side, you will see a reconstruction of Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. Now guys, what would a tour of London be without pointing out one of the local pubs that we have here in London? If you look to the right hand side, you will see the Anchor Tavern. Now it is believed that this pub over here is one of the oldest pubs in London, as there has been a pub or a brewery or an alehouse on this site for at least 700 years. Hello to everyone downstairs, I am a real person. I just thought I'd come down and say hello to you all. I hope you're all having a wonderful time down here. Hello, it's me, I am real. Now, as I said, the Anchor Tavern over here, this one, like I said, is the oldest one here in London, and it's had many different famous people over the years drinking here, including Shakespeare, and also Samuel Pepys, who was a diarist here in London, and he documented the events of the Great Fire from that very pub over there, guys, believe it or not. Now on to the topic of the Great Fire of London, just over on the left hand side there, you'll be able to see emerging just from those buildings there, we have got a stone column with a golden orb at the top. Now this is called the Monument to the Great Fire of London, and it was also designed by Sir Christopher Wren. Now it was used as an observation platform so that Londoners could climb to the top of the monument and see their city being rebuilt around them. Now you can still go up the monument today, guys, but I'd highly recommend checking beforehand, because there are 311 steps to get up to the top of the monument, and there is no lift to help you out up there, guys. But if you do manage to get to the top, well, there are excellent views of the city up there, and you do also manage to get your own little certificate as well to say well done, which is very, very nice indeed, guys. Now looking over to your right as we pass under the bridge, you will also see the Shard. Now the Shard is the tallest building that we have here in the United Kingdom. It is the tallest building in the UK, and it will always be the tallest building that we have here. Due to the strict aviation laws, it states that we can't build any higher
Yang
than
pengen
that
aku
tower.
lihat secara dekat ya. London Bridge Hospital.
Now the Shard is home to many different offices, the hotel called the Shangri-La, and they've also got many bars and restaurants in there, and of course they've got the observation deck at the top there, guys. Now it is very expensive to go up the Shard, though I would highly recommend checking out some other skyscrapers, but we can talk more about that one later. Now guys, we are fast approaching that very famous bridge there up ahead. I'm sure this is the part you've all been waiting for. It is the world famous London Bridge. Well, I have to tell you guys that the world famous London Bridge is directly behind you. Yes, that boring concrete bridge that we just passed underneath is the real London Bridge, guys. But don't worry if you got it confused with this famous bridge up ahead there, guys. Everybody gets this one wrong. Even Google will get this one wrong. If you type into Google London Bridge, it will show you a picture of the upcoming Tower Bridge. And do we also remember the singer Pergi from the Black Eyed Peas? Well, she even got it wrong herself in her hit single London Bridge. It's a banger. She released it in 2006. Well, in the music video, she was seen dancing away on Tower Bridge. Oh, what is she like? Silly Pergi. It's not very Fergalicious of it, is it? Now guys, I'm going to head to the back so you can get some good snaps off the bridge, but I will just remind everyone to remain seated on the upper deck for me. We do have plenty of opportunities to get those snaps as we approach the bridge, and we will be turning round after the bridge as well, where you will get the best picture opportunity of the day with the bridge and the city behind it. It's very, very beautiful. Now onto the right hand side you will see the HMS Belfast. It's an 11,500 ton battle cruiser. It played a vital role during the Second World War, fighting off German battleships and even firing some of the first shots of the Normandy D-Day landings. It now sits here on the River Thames permanently and acts as a floating naval museum after it was purchased by the Imperial War Museum for a bargain of £1 guys, believe it or not. And onto the left hand side you will also see the Tower of London. Now this is where I was saying that Guy Fawkes was taken to earlier on in the tour. We were talking about that. This is where he was taken to be imprisoned and tortured and executed. And throughout the years many other people have had the same fate there in the tower. But we can talk more about that on the return journey, but for now let's focus on the Tower Bridge up ahead. Now the Tower Bridge is actually a relatively new bridge here in London, being constructed
Ini
in
dia yang pengen aku tengok
1894.
secara
Now it does look
dekat.
much older than that due to the stonework there that you can see, but this is actually purely cosmetic and it is designed to blend in with the Tower of London. Now guys, I've actually been secretly training you all the way up here because there is a legend here that states that if you wave up to Tower Bridge and you receive a wave back from anyone, then that means you will get yourself and the entire boat 5 years good luck. So let's give it a go, guys. Well done guys, just like that we've managed to gain ourselves and everyone else 5 years good luck. Now that's a true Edwardian legend that we have here because when sailors were leaving the city, this would have been the last bridge that they would have passed under. So all of their loved ones would be there on the bridge to wave them goodbye in the hopes that in 5 years time, once they returned, that their loved ones would be there to greet them back again. Now guys, we are turning round to the left hand side for the best photo opportunity of the day. You will see the entirety of the Tower Bridge and the City of London behind it, so I'd highly recommend getting your phones and cameras and social media apps at the ready. This is not a snap that you want to miss. Now if you are going to post this to social media, then I'd highly recommend using the following hashtags. Hashtag this is Tower Bridge, not London Bridge. Hashtag get it right Fergie. And hashtag Josh is the best tour guide in London. Yes, believe it or not, that one's been trending a few times, so if you do want lots of likes, then I'd highly recommend using that one, guys. Now guys, Tower Bridge is a bascular bridge, meaning that it opens in the centre to allow larger ships to pass underneath. Now in its heyday, this would have opened around 8,000 times per year, but it is much more rarer today guys, but you do still see it happening from time to time, and if you did want to see the bridge opening, then they do have times online that you can look up and see when it's due to open and come along and see it happening. Now guys, as we do pass back under Tower Bridge, let's see if we can double that good luck. I'm not sure if that's how the legend works, but you know what guys, I'll take all the luck I can get.
Bye bye.
Looks like we got a few.
See you tomorrow.
Let's just hope that that means 10 years good luck. Excellent work everybody. Now onto the right hand side, back to the Tower of London there. This building was first constructed in the year 1066 by William the Conqueror after he conquered England. Now the rest of the building was constructed in the year 1100 by his son William II. Now it's had many purposes over the years, including a zoo, a palace, a royal mint and an observatory. But like I said guys, it did become more famous as a place of imprisonment, torture and execution. Now you can see the bricked up archway at the bottom there which says entry to the Traitor's Gate. Now this is actually believed to be England's first one-way system guys, because if you entered into the Traitor's Gate then unfortunately you were never coming back out again. Yes, once inside the tower that meant that you would be imprisoned, tortured and executed. But guys, if you were executed in the tower, well this was seen as a luxury, believe it or not, as that meant that you were probably a royal. Yes, a few members of the royal family were executed in here, including Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard, who were two wives of Henry VIII. And also the 9-day Queen, Lady Jane Grey. She was Queen of England for only 9 days before she was executed, guys. So of course a very successful career from her. Now, you won't see any executions today, but you will find the crown jewels inside. Now the Beefeaters know everything about the Tower of London. They actually live inside the tower. So if you ask them very nicely, they will give you a free tour of the grounds. It is well worth it guys, I'd highly recommend doing that instead of paying for a tour. However, I'd always say to make sure to leave those Beefeaters a tip, because I've heard if you tip any London tour guide then you gain another 5 years good luck. How good is that guys? What can I say? I don't make the rules. Now onto the right hand side you will see those skyscrapers of the City of London that I was telling you guys about earlier on. They've got some funny shapes but they've also got some equally funny names to go with them. So we've got the Gherkin, the Scalpel, the Cheese Grater and the Walkie Talkie Building. Now this one that's closest to us at the minute is the Walkie Talkie Building, and like I was saying earlier on guys, it's much better to actually go to the top of this building because it's entirely free to get to the observation deck up there. So if you do want to get panoramic views of the city but you don't want to pay the extortionate prices of the Shard, because this will cost you around £40 just to get to the top of it, then I would check those Sky Gardens at the top of the Walkie Talkie Building. They've also got a restaurant and a bar up there guys, and like I said, completely free to enter. You just have to book a time slot online. So I would highly recommend checking that one out if you're sticking around in London for a few more days. It's well worth it guys. Now we're coming back up here to the real London Bridge. Now if you still don't believe me that this is the real London Bridge, I've got either side as we London Bridge carved into the stone. So I promise guys, I've not lied to you, I've not told you a joke.
Oh iya, di bawah tuh ada tulisan London Bridge. Nah, di bawah tuh.
Now guys, London Bridge also has a very notorious history here. It was the only bridge in London for the longest time, and it has existed in many different forms. Now one of the most famous versions of London Bridge was called the Medieval Bridge, and it was built in the year 1209. Now it stood on the site for around 600 years, and it even had people working and living on top of the bridge guys. Yes, there were houses and shops and whatnot on top of the bridge, and it was believed that it would take around half an hour just to cross from one side to the other because it was that busy. Now guys, as well, another bit of grisly London history, they used to display the heads of the executed traitors on top of London Bridge to warn off any other criminals and say to them this would be your fate if you did the same thing guys. Now not much to say about this bridge, but on the right hand side that is a real life sauna there guys. Now, they don't know that we can see them, so if there's anyone inside do make sure to give them a wave and give them a bit of a shot. Now guys, up ahead we're approaching Southwark Bridge here. Now Southwark Bridge has been nicknamed as the loneliest bridge in London. Oh, yes, this bridge is our lonely bridge due to the fact that it has the least foot traffic of any bridge here in London. So if you do see anyone up there today guys, they're probably lost and confused, give them a wave. Poor souls, look at them, they look so confused. Now this bridge is also the only gaslit bridge we have left here in London, so those gas lamps up there are real and they are used every single night. Every other bridge that you see in London uses electricity. Now coming up ahead guys, we've got this other bridge in front of us here, the Millennium Bridge that I mentioned earlier on. Now, the Millennium Bridge is actually the landmark which won the Millennium competition against the London Eye. So we remember I said the London Eye came second place? Well, this landmark here in front of us is what came in first place. So they opened up this bridge in the year 2000 to celebrate the Millennium. But guys, it did have a bit of a shaky beginning to its career. On its opening day, as people were crossing over the bridge, they noticed a very severe wobble. Yes, people started falling over on the bridge and even started feeling sick. So they had to close the bridge down after only 2 days of it being opened. And it remained closed for 2 years until they fixed the wobble. Now it looks like no one's falling over up there, guys, so let's give them a wave along the bridge! Now you may also recognise this bridge. It's got a bit of an extensive career in the film industry, guys. She's been seen in quite a few different films. Now this bridge was featured in the film Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, where at the beginning of the film it was attacked and destroyed. And then it was also featured in the film Guardians of the Galaxy, where it was also attacked and destroyed. Also featured in the film London, where, you guessed it guys, now, we're not entirely sure what Hollywood has against their wobbly bridge, but they just love to attack and destroy it, guys. Along the river there, they span all the way across the northern embankment there. Now, these were mooring points in the Victorian times where people used to tie their boats up. Now, we don't use it for that anymore, guys. We actually use it to gauge the tide in the River Thames, and it lets us know if London is in any danger of flooding. So it does have a bit of a rhyme that goes with it, so if you're out and about later on and you see that the water's getting too close to those lion heads, well, just remember this rhyme, and it will keep you right. It says, if the lions are drinking, then London is sinking. If it's up to the mains, then we're going down the drains. And if the lion heads are ducked, then London is flooded. Yes, London is flooded. Now, onto the right-hand side, guys, you will see the oldest thing here in London today. Now, this stone obelisk there is called Cleopatra's Needle. Around 3,500 years old, guys. It's actually older than the city of London itself. Now, this was a gift from Egypt to London after the Battle of the Nile in 1815. Now, I will stress, guys, that this was a gift. I know that Britain's very good at stealing things from around the world, but of course those stolen artefacts, well, they're on display at the British Museum for free, so do make sure to go and check them out. Now, at the bottom you can see those two sphinxes there. They're actually facing the wrong way, guys. They're supposed to be facing outwards to protect the needle from us, but it does look like it's protecting us from the needle. Now, I'm quite reassured by that because I've heard a rumour that this needle is supposed to be cursed. So hopefully those sphinxes stay facing inwards forevermore and protecting us, guys. Now, we are approaching the final bridges on today's tour, so it's your last chance to get any waves from anyone, so let's give it a go, guys. Hello on the bridge! And of course we've got that lovely 2-for-1 offer here because we've got the other bridge on the other side, so let's give it a go! Well done, guys, mission accomplished. We got quite a few waves on today's tour. Now, just let you guys know that we will be heading back very shortly towards the pier now, so the toilets on board will be closing for the rest of the tour, but we do have free to use bathrooms in the London Eye ticket office just at the end of the pier if anyone does need to use the bathroom after the tour. Now, we do still have time for a few more things on today's tour, guys, so don't worry. If you look over to the right hand side behind those trees there, white building with a green roof at the top. Now, this is actually the Ministry of Defence here in Britain, guys. And like many other things, it does have a nickname. This is called the iceberg, because what you can see at the minute is just the tip of the iceberg, and underneath all of that, there are hundreds and hundreds of secret and hidden tunnels. Now, these tunnels supposedly span across the city to areas such as the Houses of Parliament, Buckingham Palace and Downing Street. So, of course, in the event of any sort of nuclear attack, well, rest assured, guys, all the politicians and royals will be absolutely fine. Us, however, well, we're going to have to fend for ourselves, I suppose. Now, guys, the last thing I'll show you today on the left-hand side is the County Hall building. Now, County Hall was once home to the London Council when they were kicked out by Margaret Thatcher in the 1980s. Now, the building is now Merlin Entertainments, which is where you will find the London Eye, the London Dungeon, Shrek's Adventure, and the Sea Life Aquarium. Now, if any of these attractions sound of interest to you guys and you want to check them out, well, I've got a little trick here for you guys. You can actually use your river cruise tickets today to upgrade to these attractions for a discounted price. So, if you do want to take advantage, I'd highly recommend it, guys. And your tickets are also valid for up to 90 days, so you can use them throughout the rest of your time here in London. Now, we are just beginning the docking procedure, guys, so I'll just ask everyone on the upper deck to remain seated for me for the next few minutes, just until we are completely tied up and it's absolutely safe to disembark from the boat. But I want to take this time just to say a massive thank you for coming on board today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed your time on board the London Eye River Cruise. Now, if you have had a good time, we'd absolutely love to hear some feedback from you guys. We do have a bright pink machine down on the pier where you can leave any feedback that you would like. That would just let our managers know that we're doing somewhat of a good job down here. Now, of course, if you did like my commentary and you want to include my name, then my name is Josh. If you didn't enjoy the commentary, then my name is David. No, but seriously, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Just a few more minutes and then you'll be ready to go. But apart from that, have a wonderful rest of your time here in London. Thank you, guys.
Jadi lebih kurang kayak gitu tadi guys ya. Aku udah naik ke London Eye Cruiser ini. Nah ini. Jadi kalau rating sih paling ada 7 ya. 7,5 paling. Dan sekarang ini kita mau kejar apa namanya? Kejar Uber karena ini sekarang kan jam setengah 7. Bus kita balik ke Stratford itu jam 8, sedangkan perjalanan dari sini ke Heathrow itu 1 jam lebih. Jadi kita nggak ada kata cerita berhenti lagi, langsung jalan perjalanan 1 jam itu. Ya semoga terkejar ya, karena kita ngambil tiket itu pulang balik. Semoga aja guys, kita masih bisa ngejar ini ya, next bus ya. Alhamdulillahnya terkejar juga guys, walau lari capek-capek ya. Ya 3 menit terakhir sebelum berangkat lah ini. Tadi bangku kita sempat udah diambil lagi, makanya dibilang sama istri, pokoknya nanti lah aku jelasin di closing ya, aku jelasin semuanya. Kesialan hari ini banyak kali guys, nggak habis pikir lah. Tapi ya alhamdulillahnya kita sudah sampai di dalam bus ya. Oke guys, kita sudah sampai di Warwick Park rail station ya. Jadi aku tadi itu tidur di bus guys. Jadi seperti yang aku bilang tadi, dari pagi itu kita udah banyak kali ini ya, banyak kali musibah ya. Aku dari pagi kopi aku tumpah pertama, habis itu yang kedua di rail park station istri HP aku jatuh dan pecah belakangnya itu. Habis itu selanjutnya tiket aku jatuh hilang. Habis itu pesennya nasi lontong pecel dikasih ini apa namanya pulut hitam, banyak lah pokoknya. Habis itu setelah itu kita naik naik kereta api, aku nyangkut ini kayak di yang buka tutup pintunya itu. Habis itu tadi kita mau sampai di di terminal station, kita mintanya di bus station, diantarnya di airport. Itu waktu kita 15 menit lagi harus lari lagi kita dari airport ke terminal station. Untungnya 2 menit tersisa itu baru dapet. Ya lebih kurang gitulah guys, hari ini vlog kita. terima kasih buat kalian yang sudah menonton ya, doain aku baik-baik aja di sini. Tadi sempat waktu aku tidur kata istri itu, aku sempat direkam sama orang, cuman aku bilang ya udahlah biarin aja. Orang buat jahat sama kita nanti dibalas jahat sama dibalas lagi sama Allah, saya kan bilang. Jadi lebih kurang gitu aja guys. Semoga video ini bisa menghibur kalian dan bisa menemani waktu senggang kalian. Terima kasih sudah menonton sampai habis. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.